During 1 week of trading, it was possible to earn more than $6,500. In this video, we will analyze the most interesting trades, see where the most was lost, where the most was earned, and I will show you my work in detail. So enjoy watching, don't forget to like in advance, and I will start. The first interesting deal was executed with the Bitcoin instrument. After a significant decline, the instrument consolidates, forming support and resistance levels. We see the first resistance level, then the price approaches it and bounces back, thus forming a cascade of resistance levels. Next, we see a smooth approach to the level and some pressure on trading. Here I decide to enter on the breakout of this level. There was no activity in the tape, so I didn't click in advance and decided to simply place pending orders at the first local level. There was a small mistake, part of it closed on limit orders, but I simply closed the remaining part at the market price. I achieved 0.32% of clean movement from this deal with a $743 profit, but I didn't enter with the full working volume because the order book was inactive and I didn't believe in the breakout. The second interesting deal was worked out with the Pepe instrument. After an active decline, the instrument consolidates. Here we have the first support level forming, as well as the second support level nearby and the third support level. All these levels form a cascade among themselves. A certain local squeeze is formed, so here I decide to enter on the breakout of the chart levels. I arrived a bit early at this location with a stop placed behind the nearby congestion, and when we experienced movement, I increased the volume, and a portion of the volume I placed at the initial local level with pending orders. Now we will have activity, I will click more, but at the moment the breakout will not happen, it will pull back a bit. However, the instrument does not roll back significantly, so I just continue to stand. Next, we simply break through with one print. There is a good breakout, and since the Pepe instrument rolls back very quickly, I decided to close my position immediately on the impulse. Ultimately, it was the correct choice. I earned $824 from a 1.5% clean movement. The third captivating transaction this week was negotiated with the Ethereum instrument. As you can see, we had a very cool support level with 3 touches. However, I did not manage to work out this level effectively. I don't even remember why. Maybe I didn't believe, maybe I didn't notice. However, I have already paid attention to these levels here. This level broke through very nicely for us. It was possible to earn very well. However, I still missed out here. Next, we have another support level forming. This is a very old daily level from a very long trading period, a very strong level. After such a downpour, I thought that after such a squeeze, we would just come up right away and sharply start breaking through those levels as well. So I had a plan to wait for some trading and then enter on the breakout here. Regarding this situation, I immediately want to say that it was worth waiting for a longer trading session, waiting for a smoother approach, well, because with such a sharp approach here, the probability of a loss was quite high. I'm getting into a position, I try to get out, for some reason I can't get out. Finally, I managed to get out. The ping seems to be small, but for some reason at that moment I was a bit slow. Partly, this is an obvious downside. On this deal, I gave away 0.1% of clean movement, lost $535. However, the volume here was not that big, which pleases me, because if I had gone in with a full working volume, I would have simply taken and given away around $1,000. The fourth interesting deal was again worked out with the Ethereum instrument. As you may recall, here I incurred a loss, then the instrument continued its decline and once again entered consolidation. Here a local support level is forming, the first touch, the second touch, and nearby we have the third touch. All this near the round 1550 was very appealing. Plus, this situation was very similar to this situation that I was describing to you. So it was logical here that after a smooth approach, we would have a good impulsive breakout. It takes me into this position. There wasn't much activity in the order book. Stalled. No movement at all. For some reason, I'm sitting here, waiting. What am I waiting for here? The prints are not going in my direction. However, I just set a stop loss and wait whatever happens, but there is no movement here in the end. I just get closed out by the stop loss and end up losing on this trade. I didn't enter with the full working volume, gave away $439 in this deal, but as you can see, the breakout did eventually occur. It was highly questionable whether to re-enter this situation, but I was still extremely tempted by the round number, in addition to a strong track record of breakouts at similar levels. Here I enter a position, a very favorable impulse ensues after surpassing 1550, I exit with precision based on the potential, and then I simply close the remaining portion at the market price. I took 0.75% of clean movement, earned $2,059 and paid $189 in commission. If you want to save on trading commissions, you will find links to exchanges with bonuses in the description. You can simply give less to the exchange, returning part to yourself, so be sure to come through the links in the description. The next intriguing deal was initiated with Bitcoin, As we observed, there's a resistance level near the round figure of $26K. Following that, the second method is established adjacent to this stage, thereby creating a cascade. Next, we observe a squeeze right up to this level, a smooth approach to trading, and here I actually intend to enter the market upon the breakout of these levels. The next deal was partly worked out blindly. I have pending orders here. The glass is lagging very much. I simultaneously open my phone and look at the phone to see what is happening with the chart. Only there I understood movement going, everything kind of clearly. When I see chart on phone, it's already starting to roll in, so I just exit this position. On such a lagging deal, it was possible to earn $1,766, taking 0.65% of clean movement. I entered with an incomplete working volume because I was still aware of the risks and that something might not go as planned after all. In the prior deal, we worked on breaking through these levels with you, but as you can see, new levels formed for us to break through, which is what I wanted to enter. There is the first resistance level, there is the second, very close. A cascade of resistance levels is forming around the round 26400, so I decided to enter here on the breakout after the trading pressure. The order book was active, attracting and repelling me at the moment, taking me into this position. However, we don't get heavily involved. I set the stop loss at break even. Part of it will be hidden by limit orders, and the remaining parts I simply dump at market price. Someone might laugh that we are taking such small movements. However, I can tell you that as long as the market gives, we should take even that, because there will be a time when it won't even give that. In total, a clean movement of 0.41%, with a profit of $992. There were also deals that I don't want to dwell on in detail, like the leftmost TRB glass, where we see very good activity. Some local resistance levels I enter partly on activity, partly with pending orders, but we don't see any movement. In fact, there were many such deals when it seems like the instrument is being pumped up, then they start quickly buying in. Here I gave away $139, and although the stops seem small, these stops accumulate, and then you still need to look for some fat setup to pour in there and cover not only the losses but also still make some profit. Interesting breakout on perp instrument, most accurate order books, accumulated part in advance, then adjust density, movement comes from this density, and of course immediately exit because nothing further happens. However, this individual removes his density, then reinserts it, and we experience a second impulse, but I do not actively participate in the second impulse. As a result, earned $149, 0.38% of clean movement, and just literally 2 minutes later, this guy throws it up nicely and still a good impulse is going. The next interesting, though not immediately obvious deal was worked out on the Bitcoin instrument. We have the first touch. As you can see, there is a second one. However, there is a slight hesitation at this level, but nevertheless, I still decided to work out this deal. I was attracted by the fact that the number was round 26600, which we still didn't take, and for some reason, I refused. What the levels here are just fantastic. We must break them well, so that's why I entered here. There was not much activity in the order book, however, it did appear at some point. I could even click a bit here in advance. It takes me into the position. There is immediately a good impulse. At some point I lose a bit in the order book. The impulse is really good, closes based on potential, but I simply dump the remaining part at market price. To comprehend why I entered this position, you need to refer to the chart. If you see here, we essentially had a very long consolidation, really long, and these were the highs of the market. And it would be foolish not to enter these highs, because Bitcoin provides some good impulses that shouldn't be ignored. And here, even if it's pierced, well, so what's the big deal? But we haven't had an impulse yet. We haven't knocked down any chartists there. So here I had this kind of logic. In total, I earned $1,359 in this deal. The movement percentage was 0.52%, and it was executed precisely according to the potential. So whatever the market gave, that's what I took. The next interesting deal is the very right cup. I already clicked on part of the activity in advance, set my pending orders for the breakout of the level. Perp was making very cool rollovers, very cool impulses. Here comes a good cool impulse. On this impulse, a large portion is fixed on limit orders, but the remaining part is simply dumped on the market without any hesitation or second thoughts. Took 1% of clean movement, earned $570. There were actually such breakouts like the one with Bitcoin around the round 26800 level. It pulls me into a position. It seems like there's an impulse there for 0.25%. However, on the pullback, it just closes me at break even. None of my limit orders were executed. I only made $20 in this particular trade, but due to my utilization of a cashback service for trading commissions, I was able to earn an extra $50-60 in addition to that. And you can also use it if you scan the QR code. The next interesting deal was worked out with the Ethereum instrument. After an active rise, the instrument on the glass becomes consolidated. The first support level, the second, the third, all this is near the round 1630, So here I decided to enter on the breakout of these levels. While the glass is not very active at the moment, but when activity suddenly appears, it pulls me into this position. We're literally standing still for a bit, but there are no prints against me, so I don't exit. I am clearly covered by potentials here, and my position is completely closed out with limit orders. Earned $2,316 with a clean movement of 0.45%, tested 7 seconds for trades. I did flip a small portion as well, of course, but it was not as significant in that specific area, yet I still earned an additional $1.80 from that particular part. The next interesting deal was worked out with the Bitcoin Cash instrument. After an active rise, support levels are formed around the round number of $207. There are two touches in one point, a smooth rounding of the squeeze towards this level begins, and there is also another support level in history. Behind these levels, there is 100% liquidity, there are stop orders at least, and theoretically there could be an impulse, so it's possible to enter here on the breakout. I entered a part in advance, placed a stop loss behind this very rounding, and the other part I already placed directly with the pending order at the level. At the same time, we have a good breakout on VLD, I think you can see it in the order book. Here it takes me into a position the strong instrument doesn't collapse, but nevertheless some kind of breakout is happening. But I see that there are some aggressive buybacks starting, so I also exited this position. Part is closed by limit orders, and part is already at market on Avcade. In total, $1,235 of clean movement was earned from this deal, 0.96%. So we have analyzed the most interesting deals for this week. However, there were a lot of deals at this moment. I do not know if anyone is interested, pause and see what deals were made, because there were discounts on founding where 1000% was provided. However, I did not document these subjects. I donated a significant amount of money on certain sets of levels for the purpose of continuing. In summary, on certain new systems it was simply worth engaging in trading breakouts by placing pending orders on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you could potentially earn a much higher amount because I generously gave away money, I would say, in situations where you could simply choose not to be so generous. There were also losses on breakouts. All of this you can see on your screens at the present moment. I showed you the most interesting executions. Just a few more seconds and I will reveal the outcomes of this week. Well, that is all actually, and I will share my trades. Weekly. Mon $2,200, TU $1,600, WED $200, TU $4,000, Free $300, SAT $500, Sun plus dollar $2,700. In total, we ended up with a clean $6,600. In addition to this amount, we also take into account the cashback, which is around $2,000. So if you also want to save on trading commissions, then follow the links in the description. Well guys, we'll wrap it up here. I hope the video was useful, informative, and interesting for you. So don't forget to like if it really was. Don't forget to leave at least some comment so that, well, I don't know, as many people as possible can see such useful content. Good luck to everyone. May there be profit, happiness, peace, kindness to all, and bye for now.